And on this Wednesday, January 15th, 2025 edition of Newsmakers, officials have announced that Israel and Hamas have agreed to a ceasefire deal to pause the devastating 15-month war in the Gaza Strip, raising the possibility of winding down the deadliest and most destructive fighting between the bitter enemies. The deal, coming after weeks of painstaking negotiations in the Qatari capital, promises the release of dozens of hostages held by Hamas in phases, the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in Israel, and would allow hundreds of thousands of displaced people in Gaza to return to what remains of their homes. It also would flood badly needed humanitarian aid into a devastated territory. Officials from the U.S. and Hamas said a truce was in place, while Israel said final details still need ironing out. Open Doors has released their 2025 World Watch List. According to the latest report, more than 380 million Christians, 1 in 7 worldwide, face high levels of persecution and discrimination. As the organization has done for over 20 years, Open Doors U.S. ranked North Korea number 1 on its World Watch List. The latest report also found increased violence scores in 15 sub-Saharan countries since the 2023 list. The 2025 report noted that the sub-Saharan Africa region is the most violent due to Islamic extremist groups taking advantage of government instability. Though fewer Christians were killed for their faith in Nigeria compared to last year, it remains disproportionately deadly for Christians, with 3,100 deaths. Overall, the report said over 4,400 Christians were killed for their faith. Former Vice President Mike Pence's group, Advancing American Freedom, is urging senators to oppose the confirmation of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's pick to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy's confirmation hearing hasn't been scheduled yet, but in a letter to Republican senators, the group's president and board chair say they're deeply concerned about Kennedy's past comments on abortion and urge them to instead confirm someone who opposes abortion rights. They say the agency's next leader, quote, must have a firm commitment to protect unborn children or will bend under the pressure and pushback surrounding these daily critical decisions. As a candidate, Kennedy voiced support for leaving decisions about whether to terminate a pregnancy to women, not the government, even if it's full term, but later walked that back, saying abortion should be legal up until a certain number of weeks and restricted thereafter. The letter did not mention Kennedy's anti-vaccine views. South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley is showing his support for Louisiana's 10 Commandments law. It requires all kindergarten through 12th grade schools and state-funded universities to display the 10 Commandments in classrooms. Jackley announced he's joined 17 other attorneys general as part of a legal brief supporting the Louisiana law currently at the center of a legal battle. South Dakota state lawmakers will also take up the issue during their 2025 legislative session. Senate Bill 51 would require the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every South Dakota classroom. And that's Newsmakers for this Wednesday, January 15th, 2025 edition. I'm Keith Black.